Good morning, Coach Patsos.
I am here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. All right.
Hey, anything for you guys. You know that. Sorry. I was going to come in today, but I guess we have to do some protocol stuff.
Yeah, you might have got sidetracked just a little bit in the final 2 minutes. Otherwise,
I got sidetracked by I'm still married, Rodger. I did the dishes this morning, and then I had to wipe my car off with snow. So let's keep it how real it is.
All right. Have you looked at the videotape, and if so, what did you see? Give us your take.
Oh, it was a physical game from the start, and they had lost 2 in a row, and we've all been there. You know, Zach, you played, Rodger, you've covered a million sports. You know, they came out fired up, and they played well. So it was kind of it was an intense MAC game. I don't know why their guy threw the punch. Look, I'm not here to defend anybody. Look, it's old MAC basketball. I think everybody should move on from it, but it certainly can't happen again. I have to meet with John. John Dargenio is going to talk to Rich Enzer. The head of officials is going to get involved. But, you know, their guy threw a punch, and I was really just trying to get Kevin Baggett. Kevin Baggett's a friend of mine. I was just trying to get Bags, stop. Come on, stop. Like, just, we don't need this. No coaches need this today. Players don't need it. And look, nothing really happened, but it could have got ugly, and I don't want ugly, and I don't want fights. And Rodger, you know what always brings my mind? I'm older like you, Rodger. I always think of Kermit Washington. You know, Kermit Washington was like one of the nicest guys ever. He went to American U. He was a great student. And all he's remembered for is punching Rudy Tomjanovich. He almost killed the guy. And I think Sean Feinstein wrote a book about it. In other words, in my mind, I'm like, no fights. But, like, these are big people. Somebody can, like, turn around and think someone's coming at him and throw a punch. And next thing you know, a guy's face is caved in. And Kermit Washington was, like, a great, quiet human being, and that kind of identified him. My point is, I was like, nobody throw punches like him. Be careful in a melee, because I was really trying to defuse the situation, and I was trying to get Bags to just, like, man, like, just, it's not worth it. Let it go. I did watch the tape. They threw a punch, and he did go after Marquise Wright, which I don't know why. Marquise is kind of one of the nicer kids I've ever coached. I don't know what happened down the other end if guys were jawing, like I said. And then the referees did a very good job. In other words, with 2 minutes left, Rodger, and you're the only interview I'm doing, you get my exclusive. I'm not, so please tell no one else to call me. It's a Rodger, Wyland, Zach exclusive. But I watched the tape, and the referees did a good job. We all came up and said, okay, let's just play the 2 minutes out. The last 2 minutes, there was absolutely no incident. There was no pushing or shoving in the last 2 minutes. And I turned around and thought we were going to shake hands. I kind of walked with my head down. It's again, with 5 seconds left, Zach, I'm starting to walk towards the table. And I look up and nobody's there. So I just, I kind of did the fake handshake just as a sort of okay, I guess we're not going to shake hands. I didn't see what happened down the other end of the tunnel with their guys and Baggett in the stands. I don't think that's okay either. Once again, I'm just a coach. I'm really glad we won. I thought Levon Long was great. Brett Bisping played his best defensive game of the year. But if you're looking for something that spewed all this on, Rodger, there's no secret thing. I don't know. It just kind of happened quick. I thought it was diffused quick. Kevin came down. That didn't help things. I was trying to calm him down.
Here's the only thing.
Then I thought, in other words, but real quick, I thought it was over after that. Like, the refs came in and said, 3 techs for you, they're shooting 2, let's play it out. We looked at each other. He wasn't angry. I'm like, okay, let's just play. Let's finish the game. And then I didn't know why they walked off the court, and then I heard there was some incident down the other end. I didn't really see it. And that's all the info I got. You got my take.
All right. Did the tape that you look at, do you have, can clarify that Baggett went in the stands after a fan?
I didn't see that down the other end. I was doing the radio interview with Marissa, and I do know they were supposed to go out they were supposed to go out an end where there's security, so they went to the other end. So in other words, you got to, our security and the Times Union, Bob Belber, they're very good. They know what they're doing, In other words, you're supposed to shake hands and then go out your end, and security's there, and then we go our end, and I guess they just, they were upset, so they went off the grid. Hey, I've been upset after games before, too, but I read something from Arnold Palmer before the game to my team about priorities. he has a little section in his book, Priorities, Manners, and like staying grounded. I talked to him about how we've won a few games, but don't get cocky. You always do the right thing. It's going to be a tough matchup, but at the end of the day, we're back in school because we started school yesterday. From Arnold Palmer, who said, you don't like a guy, shake his hand and just don't play golf with him again. But I like Kevin Baggett, and anyways, the Times Union's like really well run. In other words, I've been in a lot of arenas. They're really organized and everything, so it just happened. I think that we have to move on a lot to worry about St. Peter's, but it is unfortunate that one of their kids threw a punch at Marquise Wright, and I didn't think after the referees got everyone together, it was calm. And we played the game out, and we stopped them, and they missed a couple shots, and we made a free throw, and it was game. And then no one told me we weren't supposed to shake hands. No one said anything except, so our team just went down. I looked up, and they weren't there, and, I'm just not sure we should. I kind of agree with you, Rodger. And by the way, LeVon and Javion, I'm going to talk to them today. They don't speak for this program, A. They're the players, not the coaches. And B, there was no bad blood the last 2 minutes of that game. So you just shake hands like you're supposed to. It's a sport, and you go on to the next game. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it.
Hey, the only problem I have with Baggett is and I was watching on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. Jimmy Patsos with us. We appreciate the exclusive coach Patsos. But the videotape that I saw, it looked like you were doing a really good job trying to get your guys, back to the bench and some of your assistants and trainer and all that.
Greg Hammer was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Greg
Hammer was unbelievable.
Once again, a 35-year vet of the game. So he knows. Stay on the bench.
Yeah.
Don't have any punches. So Hammer was instrumental, I thought, in keeping the calm.
And I don't mind, Jimmy, Baggett coming down if he's going to try and get his players away and get him back to his bench. But it looked like the intention for him was to go down and yell at Marquise Wright.
Yeah, that was a little, that I didn't see that until after the video. I was just trying to say, let's get everybody out of here. And I did hear say someone he's trying to kill Marquise, and I'm like, nobody's trying to kill anybody here. Let's just stay calm. But Kevin Baggett's a friend of mine. He's always going to be a friend of mine. And he's a good coach. And he got Coach of the Year 2 years ago. And, there's a lot of pressure on coaches these days. I understand it. So I've always thought at the end, look, Gary Williams, Jack Bruin. I played for some fiery guys. Carol Holmes, who was my high school coach. He was the first guy I worked for. At the buzzer sounds, you win and lose with class. You shake hands and you move on. I had mentioned this before. I had seen Patriots Day the night before, my lovely date with my wife. I got her a cheeseburger and a movie, right? Big guy, classy guy. But we snuck away and watched Patriots Day. You watch that and you say, that's real stuff going on there. It was a powerful movie. That was the day before. Clearly we talked about MLK, the impact he had. We had several different topics before practice and after, what Martin Luther King did and all that. And then it's just a game. The game ended. We won. Hey, they beat us down there. We lost. We shook their hand when we lost. We lost on a buzzer beater. We had a game winner to win it, and we didn't play particularly well down the stretch. It was our fault. But I've always felt like that buzzer is supposed to be a reminder, like it's just a game. And I was a little surprised, but, I guess in this world today you have to just deal with a lot of different stuff. I hope in the future that everybody just shakes hands. I don't like fights. And like I said, I was close. Being Gary Williams was at American U, Feinstein, the Kermit Washington thing, that always rung a bell. You got to be careful with these big people. These are big human beings. It's like the racetrack. You don't realize how big horses are until you go to the track. When you're on the court, there are some very big humans out there playing basketball. Big guys. And I don't want to see a punch thrown because a little manager or a ref or a bystander can really get hurt. These are big people. And that's the last thing in the world I want, is anybody to get hurt when they're supposed to be going to a game to enjoy themselves.
Jimmy, on just a little bit of a lighter note, I'm sitting on the couch enjoying a glass of Pinot Grigio with my wife, and I thought it was...
God, I wish I had one of those.
I thought it was pretty funny, but you went through the handshake line, so I took out my phone and I videoed it and I tweeted it. Next thing I know, it's got 5,000 retweets, and Scott Van Pelt's tweeting at me, trying to use it on SportsCenter. Matt Lauer had it on today, and, it's on Barstool Sports. It's everywhere this morning. How much...
Yeah, I did Slow Tuesday. See, I picked Tuesday to do that. Like I said, I just looked up and I was kind of like messing around. I didn't know what to do because nobody was there. I literally walked the half court. I looked up and everybody was gone, so I just said, okay, I'll just shake hands with nobody.
How many?
I got to walk down and I got to turn around for Marissa, but
Jimmy, how many people have reached out to you?
Viral, that's okay. I don't look. It's entertaining. That's okay.
No, I'm saying how many people have reached out to you this morning and thought that was hilarious?
I cleared my phone. I got about 100 and something texts, but like I said, texts that matter to me are Gary Williams and my boss and things like that. And so these last few weeks, it's funny. I just you got to, when you're not playing well or you got to bunker down or hunker in. I got a few coaches I talked to about what's going on. And it's funny because I had a lot of media requests, and the first instinct was, oh, you should do them because it'd be good for recruiting or good for the school to get its name out there and stuff, national. Nope, I'm doing Rodger. We got to worry about St. Peter's. Brett Bisping playing unbelievable defense. Levon, that was just an unbelievable gutty performance by Levon. And we got a game tomorrow, so we got to try to beat St. Peter's, and that's all we're really doing. But I don't want anybody throwing punches, and we're not here to fight. It's basketball, okay? There's real things going on all over the world. There's real things going on in certain sections of Albany. There's other hardships that matter, and you got to keep it in perspective. Maybe I'm getting old and I have too much perspective, but I don't like that stuff, and I want to play hard but not dirty.
Hey, Jimmy, one more for me.
But I don't want to fight.
One more for me, I'll let you go, and that's, I know it got lost in the shuffle, but your team has a 4-game winning streak, and I know coming back from Buffalo, you lose a couple of games on that trip, and whatever people were saying, and oh boy, Sienna not playing well, and now all of a sudden, whatever spark went off in your team, you've now won 4 games in a row and playing like I think people thought you were capable of playing.
I think Javion's done a great job I think Javion was upset he didn't finish that layup at Niagara, and when we got back from Buffalo, the motto was finish layups, finish your schoolwork. Finish the play, finish your passes with bikes. In other words, we were doing a lot of stuff just almost good enough, and that's why we didn't get blown out. We just lost by a couple. And Javion's message has been 4 minutes at a time. Brett's clearly doing what he wants. And Marquise is going back to scoring a little more, but our bench has been good. Kadeem Smitten, Evan Fisher. I told Evan Fisher, just watch an Albany game. Why? Because I want you to do what their bigs do. Screen, rebound. Okay, you can shoot a 3 once in a while. But we need to do the basics. And then we've gone back to doing some of the basics, and we're winning by a few points. I mean, last night was a nice comeback, Quinnipiac, but it's about the MAC, tournament, and you got to get a good season doing. And then we got to grind, and we're back in school, academics first. We're practicing really at a good level. But I do think that our seniors have said this is our team, and then we put the next table. Like I said, there's always 3 tables: starters, real bench players, and the guys that are going to come along next year. And I like what we're doing in practice. But Evan Fisher, Kadeem Smith, and Santi Shivers, and now Khalil Richards are sort of joining the fray. And Herder and Willem are right there in practice. I mean, we got a nice little second group. But your second group, stop thinking you're the first group, because it's about the seniors. And I think Javion, once he kind of mentioned that to everybody, we're fine, but let us do it. And we're fine, but let's do the little things. And it starts with me. Javion said that. I'll tell you what, out there in the crowd and everybody, you should really be proud of your hometown kid, Javion. He does great in school. He's more open up than I've ever seen him. He does well on the court. And I think he could be a coach one day. I really do.
Coach, appreciate a few minutes as always.
Thank you guys. Keep it going. We'll get in there next week. I'm sorry I couldn't come in.
Go meet with Darjanio. Thanks for a couple minutes.
Thanks.